Okay, let's go then. Let's go, what the 40k. Let's go. Hi guys, thanks for turning up. I think one of the consistencies in YouTube and in the hobby indeed is to try and stay consistent. Like if you're trying to paint an army. Don't go, oh, that looks pretty, and oh, that looks pretty, and oh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Pick the army, paint the army, collect the army. Get the thing done. And consistency also on YouTube is very important. So Talkie Tuesday live streams, very consistent, very important. And here we are on a Tuesday, 8 p.m, locked in, ready to go. And we got, because I've come, thank you, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, for gifting Winter's SEO membership. And thank you, Rue. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. GG's in the chat all round, guys. GG's in the chat all round. It's a Wednesday, my dude. It's a Talkie Tuesday live stream being broadcast live on a Wednesday earlier than what I would normally go in at 8 o'clock. Consistency is consistently overrated, I know. 1 minute, my pussy wants to escape. Pussy doesn't like it when I talk and talk and talk. We're strapped in early here on this Talkie Tuesday live stream. Okay, because we wasn't here on Tuesday, so we're doing this on Wednesday. Consistency is important, and it's something I try and stick by and fail. So thank you everyone for joining me early on a Wednesday, which is late from the Tuesday. I've started early because you're strapped in, and I'm strapped in here for a long time, not a good time. There's many other things on the internet that you guys could be watching right now. Haha, what did I just hear? My ears, damn. Is the sound levels okay? So we're here for a good time. No, we're here for a long time, not a good time, which is why I started early. And which is why I've got a coffee and also water with electrolytes in, green flavoured this time. For those of you that don't often come to the live streams, and for those of you watching this as a VOD later on, shout out VOD squads, you know how this goes. How this goes is we sometimes actually talk about 40k, and I'm just constantly blown away by people gifting memberships, people actually choosing to listen to me when you have the whole of the internet at your fingers right now. So we might actually talk about 40k, but mainly we'll talk about food crimes, the best biscuits. Someone might ask something relatively intelligent at some point. But the whole of the internet is at your fingertips, guys. And thank you for choosing to watch me and listen to this old man rant instead. There's penguins out there. Who doesn't like penguins? You could click on something right now and see penguins. You could watch penguins riding penguins. Not in that way, chat. No, as in penguins, giant penguins that can still fly, that remember they were birds once, with penguins on top like avatars with las cannon spears in that. You could watch AI can do that now. It's a marvel. You can watch penguins riding dinosaur flying penguins, not penguins riding penguins, because your mind filthy. Mind you, penguins riding penguins is also, that's nature, that's the circle of life. So that's how we all got here. And penguins riding penguins makes more penguins with the little the eggs, and they shuffle it along. It's so cute. So we might talk about 40k at some point. Instead, we're here for the long time. Like I say, this isn't a good time. There are no penguins with me. Okay, no penguins. Maybe a bit of 40k. So thank you everyone who's chosen to listen to me, be it live, be it as a VOD squad. I love you all. You're awesome. Thank you if you're subscribed. Thank you if you're a member. Thank you if you're in the mug club. Haven't sold any of them for a while. So if you want to support the channel, buy a mug. Buy 4 mugs and share them amongst your gaming buddies when they come round. They're ridiculously expensive because that's how the YouTube shop works. But it's still a great way to support me. Thank you for all the support. Anyway, let's jump into the chat and see where we are this evening. We've got 9 likes on the stream. See, that's, you guys know how bad this is. It's bad. There's penguins riding penguins out there. 9 likes on the stream. This is, you know, has anyone said anything about 40k yet? Even in the chat. Just logged on into penguins. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Look who finally showed up. The Eternal Crusader. Listen, Tuesday there was a warp storm anomaly. We're here now and we're here early. Killer Kriegsman's donated a $5. I can't eat cake right now, so I have this. Beautiful. I will spend it on cake. I'm actually gonna, you know, I keep the thing. I'm gonna write cake on there to remind me that Killer Kriegsman got me some cake, because that's a kind thing. Who doesn't want more cake? Unless it's cheesecake. We've talked about fruit and vegetables going anywhere near chocolate and cake before. Don't turn this into a food crimes chat. We're at 15 likes. Okay, we've got to push those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. And we can't start doing food crimes straight. Someone's got to ask something about 40k. I'll write this down. Killer Kriegsman, cake, killer. Thank you, Killer Kriegsman, for your donation. GG's in the chat. Anyone GG him? No one bothered GG him. And Kriegsman. Done. Cake. What sort of cake though? There's this lovely marble cake wrapped in chocolate that you can get from Lidl, and it's not too sweet, it's not too sugary, it's got the right amount of sponge marble and the right amount of chocolate, and it's right cheap. It's like £1.50 or something. That cake, I might have one of them downstairs. I'll eat that and get a second cake. Anyway, thank you, Killer Kriegsman. Thank you for the 17 likes on the stream. Awesome. And thank you to everyone for choosing to spend this Talkie Tuesday with me, your host, Winters SEO. Let's drop into the chat. Any 40k, any heresy out there, chat? Crusader, House Hellbricks, no idea what that's about. Cake, red velvet with extra vanilla cream every time. Red velvet, extra vanilla cream. Dude, I mean, you're talking about something special there. That doesn't get served up every Sunday, does it? Looking forward to the Blood Angels versus Necrons. Again, don't know what you're talking about. I need more JB Weld for the Warlord legs. I don't trust super glue. What is JB Weld? What's wrong with super glue? The congratulations, by the way, on slapping together a Warlord Titan, and also bringing this conversation finally round to the realm of Warhammer, Killer Greeks. Well, not only with a £5 donation earlier on, but also being this lone voice of reason in this room. The Reaver Titan that I did took me about a month to put together, so kudos for you slapping together a whole Warlord Titan. But that was pinned, and that was super glue. Pinning and super glue is your friend. Take your time. It's been up. It's been alive for 15 years and hasn't broken yet. So that was a lot of super glue. Yeah, JP Weld is just a thing. I have no idea what that is. Learned that the hard way with my Warhound, said the Eternal Crusader. Exactly. See, Titan Owners Club stepping up here. What's Alec? Hello, hi Alec, welcome. Do you do painting streams? No, I have the Night Lords and Krieg Kill Team to paint up, and I feel so cold and alone. They aren't exactly cheery company. Right. I should do painting streams, shouldn't I? Really? Would anyone be up for... I've painted some things. Would anyone? It seems like I'd have to set up another camera or something. It seems technical. I hope one day to make enough money that I can afford a Titan. Exactly. Titan. My completely legit... What? 3D... What? 3D... What? There's a... Yes. Pirating. Bad. Games Workshop. Just make them in plastic. Make them in plastic. People would buy them. Yes. Sorry if it was... What are we talking about? Would like to discuss good Raven Guard list. Big Black Word. You would like... Okay, Paul. You'd like to discuss a good Raven Guard list in Heresy or 40k? Let's turn this about Warhammer, guys. This is why I'm here. This is why we're locked in for a long time. Not a good time. Okay? This takes as long as it takes. I'm sorry I was late yesterday. There was a warp anomaly. I'm here now. More Heresy report, Winters, says Mark Horton. Well, Mark Horton, one went up today. Alpha Legion, Just Craig's beautifully painted Alpha Legion, along versus the Sons of Horus, and it was an explosive start, I can tell you, with about 1,000 points getting wiped off the table very quickly, and yours truly panicking. Coming down to the last turn dice roll between the Alpha Legion and Sons of Horus, it was an epic game. And to get access to all the Winter's Wednesday videos, sign in and become a Tier 3 channel member. Great way to support the channel as well. Shall I cut that? Is that a cut? Is that a good advert? Is that a clip? That's not a good clip. That's not a good clip. We need to find a clip at some point of me pimping the Tier 3 shit. So many holes. What's that about, Andy H? That bat rep was a banger. Thank you. See, Red Richmond knows what I was talking about. There was the one that went up today for Tier 3 channel members. Really good game. Loved Alpha Legions for Just Craig's army. Cut that. We can use it. We can use it. Seriously, we can use it. I'm going to write it down on the timestamp then and take a look back. And if you don't see me using it, it's because on reflection, I'm like... Mark Horton was wrong. That's what I'm like. He was wrong. We can't use it. But, you know, truth. What is truth in the end? It's just different points of view. Nietzsche said truth is a mountain. It's solid. It's like a mountain. A mountain is true. You can climb it. You can. There's water coming off of it. There's trees and little bunny rabbits living in that mountain. But, and everyone can't deny that there's this mountain there. But everyone sees a different face. We'll be talking about Warhammers at some point. Where are we? Holes. On the Predator and Rhino exhaust. Getting bored of them now. You just spray and then dry brush silver, Nuln Oil, dry brush silver, a brass, and then Nuln Oil it, and then dry brush silver on top of it again. Surely. I got predicted. First of all, thank you for your hard work. Love the content. Secondly, I'm getting into 40k with Imperial Knights. Is it too unbalanced to practice at 1 point, only balanced at 2k? You can practice at 1k points. The thing about Knights is, 1k points you'll have 4 of them, maybe 5 of them. And units, that's it. And ideally, at 1k points, you'd be playing against other Knight players. And the games would be very quick. And you'd learn the hobby very quickly that way. The thing you have to know about Knights, though, and there is a Knight battle report coming out this Sunday. I have an Eldar problem. I don't know if you've been watching the channel at all for some time, including all the members' videos, which you can get if you become a Tier 3 channel member, and that unlocks every Winter's Wednesday battle report. I don't know if you know, but I've had an Eldar problem recently. So I broke out the Knights. It was Dark Angel's Chris this Sunday. It's coming up with his Eldar, which I haven't been able to spank, okay? And I like killing Eldar. I've been killing Eldar, trust me. But defeating them, it's been tough. So Unleash the Knights, 2,000 points worth of Knights. You'll see that on Sunday. That's a close game. And as I said in that video, the thing about playing Knights in all the editions is all true. When you play with a more elite force, so it was like this back in the day with Grey Knights, and it was like this back in 8th edition, early 9th edition with Custodes as well, and now Knights. If you're playing with a truly elite force, you can't afford to lose too many units in the first couple of turns. So if you're playing with a force which is a third the size or even half the size of your opponent's army, and you lose 2 whole units in 2 turns, you're now playing against a much, much superior force. They can do more things. There's actions and deep strikes and move blocking and things, as well as just killing you. So when you play with elite armies, you really need to hold on to your Knights at the beginning of the game. So if you're starting at 1,000 points, when you're playtesting, when you're learning out, you'll either win big or lose big. You'll lose big because you lose a couple of big units in the first couple of turns, and you've got nothing left. Or you'll win big because you'll manage to hold on to those units. So you've got to play quite conservatively. Anyway, so that's coming out on Sunday. It's a very interesting one. I liked it. No, I'm not. I don't feel bad about bringing Knights against Eldar. It's a close game. It's a very close game. I don't feel bad about it. I knew I would win big or lose big. He had the Avatar, who's a beast, and Knights can't fight in close combat. I think my pussy is shouting at me. Andy H, thank you for being a member. Bear, 28 months. Thank you. I do love a nice Eldar list, Farseer. Do you do? No, you do. I do. Screw you, Andy. 28 months. Thank you. But no, Andy. 28 months of torment from you is a lot of months. Please. We are not the Farseer Winters we once was. That was an anomaly. That didn't happen. Erase that from the timeline. Let's retcon it. I need to check my thing. What? He's got into the habit of shouting at me. He's got old. He's 17, right? And when he wants to go to bed, he'll shout to see if anyone will come up and put him on the bed and give him lots of strokes and things. And I do it so often that now he shouts at me to get me to do it. Yeah. I can't do it right now. We're here. No, it's my loud cat, P90, little cat. Andy H, thank you for your 28 months. The Farseer thing. Come on now. I do not love a nice Eldar list. I don't. I look. Eldar. They look good. Okay, the Warhammer 40k models look good, but they held the galaxy for millions and millions and millions of years. And if you want to know what the true Eldar were like, remember the hippies, they went to the Halo stars. And the ones who thought, the Bushido guys, let's face it, it's Bushido, follow a path. Those guys had been watching lots of episodes of Cobra Kai and Japanese manga. They went, no, we're going. But the true Eldar, the 90% plus of them, they're the ones in Cormora. That's what their species was like. You're not supposed to like them. You're supposed to want to kill them. If the worlds of Warhammer 40k is full of baddies and every faction's bad, even the Tau with their indoctrinated species, which is all about the greater good, even for humans. But if you say, no, I don't want to be part of that, they kill you or sterilize you. So even the Tau, indoctrinated, mind controlled, very Dalek thing going on with the Tau. That's what's going on there. There's no freedom there. There's the will of the ethereals plummeting down. There's bad guys everywhere, but even in this realm of bad guys, if you're supposed to dislike a species, truly dislike a species, it's the Eldar. It's the Dark Eldar. That's what they were. And that's why I don't like the Eldar, because at least the Dark Eldar are like, okay, this is who we are. So then you got to respect that. When someone turns around to you and says, screw you, this is who I am, you're like, okay, cool, fine. Yeah, at least you know. None of us know. Who am I? Who are we really in this tiny speck, in this vast universe? What? Hello? He wants to come in now. What?
He's been crying.
I know he's been crying. I stuck my head out a few times and shouted at him. I know he's been crying. He just won't shut up. Where were we? I think I went off on a tangent there. Let's talk about 40k or Horus Heresy. Someone had a question about Raven Guard. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Thanks for joining me here on a Talkie Tuesday live stream with me, your host, Winters SEO. Thank you. Of all the things, thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the memberships and all those things. You guys are legend. What happened to Talkie Tuesday? Prancing Duck. Imagine this is a Tuesday. Whispers about 3.0 heresy. I talked about that, Karen Commissar, quite a lot in last week's Wednesday live stream. We need to go back to Tuesdays, guys. No. Heresy, yeah, no is the answer to Heresy 3.0. Let's face it. That's what the community thinks. The community says no. it's interesting because the 40k community, I mean, we're a year away from another edition in 40k, and some of us in the 40k community are already going, even though they haven't got the codex for, say, Drukhari or some of the Chaos factions. Who else hasn't got one? Some people haven't got one. Votan? I don't know. Even though they're going to have a codex and then 2 months later the next edition's coming out. Some of us in the 40k side are like, yeah, we could do with a new edition, please. Let's cut some of this competitive crap out of the game. Can we have some more fun? Ones should mean something bad happens. I don't want to re-roll it and re-roll it. If I roll 5 ones in any number of dice, 5 bad things should happen. And those could be misses, but whatever. Just the re-rolls. Seriously now. We like rolling bad and good. It's a dice rolling game. So some people in 40k are thinking that. And then I put my heresy hat on and I think, no. And I listen to all the heresy community and the community saying, no. Don't touch the heresy. The heresy, good. Just release more plastic crap. Where are the breaches? Where are the sabers? Where are the Proteuses? Where are the Arquitas? Where are the rapiers? These are all in the main rulebook, which is over 2 years old. Where are they in plastic? We will bite your hand off. Just don't touch the rules. Where are we? Also, am I interested in producing AOS content? Since a 4th edition, AOS is the best it's ever been, according to many. Although I can imagine branching out is a ton of work and risk. I will go where I want to go, and I did want to I tried to do the AOS thing. I've told the story before, but it was a couple of years ago. Me and a bunch of SEOs went up to Warhammer World. We went to Mecca and had 200 quid in my pocket. And we went up there, we played a game, did the Bugman's thing, went around the hall, the exhibition, lovely, grand day out. And we all had a couple of 100 quid. And the idea was, I think I had 400 quid. The idea was to walk away from Mecca with AOS armies and start AOS. And we all ended up walking out of there with more 40k stuff and Forge World stuff, despite spending more time upstairs in the exhibition looking at the AOS models, because there was no Old World then, like, which really tickles my pickle, a lot longer up there than actually in the 40k section, which is the inverse of what normally happens. And I didn't. And the AOS world is realms. But the old world you can put on a map. And the galaxy, to all intents and purposes, you can put on a map. But realms suffer from the multiverse problem, which is, where are the stakes? And it's been blown up before. Get blown up again. It loses something. And so AOS, and I can only keep a certain number of games in my brain. So AOS has always felt like, I mean, Sultan has told me, here's a good book or two that I should read. And I think I might actually have one up on the wall, which I'm supposed to download and take with me on holiday. Next month, when are we going on holiday? Yeah, there's some AOS books I want to read. So never say never. But the heresy meant something. Bretonia, where it exists and what's around it and what threatens it, means something. Blood Bowl exists in the world of fantasy. That's cool. Just like Space Hulk exists in the world of 40k. That's cool. And then the realms. Am I the only one, chat? Is that just me? We might actually have to turn this on, look. Because, look, I started the stream and the yellow thing was still in the sky. The Eternal Crusader, it's under C perks on Winter's. Yeah, something about membership. You got to go to the membership thing and see the perks, and then you'll find it there. If I had to choose AOS or 40k, it's AOS any day for gameplay, 40k for depth of lore. I find it swings. I mean, that may be how it is right now, particularly for you, but for me, I've been playing 40k for so long. Sometimes the editions are good, sometimes they're bad. And yeah, Trench Crusade before AOS, they just released a world map. I saw that. Trench Crusade is That looks interesting, doesn't it? Anyway, chat. Hi, chat. Welcome to this Talky Tuesday live stream. How are we doing? How we? You're a winner. Winters, have you tried some games of boarding action? Looks fun. A couple. Yeah, a couple. See, ultimately, most of the games of 40k I play will be against Sultan, which I don't film, or Sultan and a couple of other people. And then the rest are people who want to and are willing to travel all the way down here. This is a group effort. All the members who are on tonight, big thank you for being a channel member, a member of the 13th Fleet, because this fleet is not just me, it's you. And it relies on a lot of people coming down here. And most people who come down here say, like, for example, this weekend, Badger's coming down. Not the king of the Badgers, not Badger King, but the Badger. There's like 3 Badgers in the Discord. And he's bringing 4,000 points of big stompy orcs. So I don't have a lot of people saying, hey, boarding actions, let's play that. When I'm playing Sultan, it's normally like, hey, let's do this, fight that. We did a 3,000 point game of White Scars, which isn't going up. We did a 5,000 point game of Blood Angels versus Necrons because he wanted to bring his Thunderhawk again. Actually, I filmed that one, so that one will go up. We do crazy stuff like that, not like, hey, let's do some boarding actions. And then when we want to do something small like boarding actions, we do Anya Sedaris' Marvelous Adventures, which is the Eisen Inquisition campaign that I did, which is available for Tier 3 channel members. We do something like that, like make our own shit up. It's much more exciting. So boarding actions, and indeed the whole channel, kind of relies, as most things in life do, on other people being nice and kind. So I'm just so pleased that I'm surrounded by nice and kind people all the time. Thank you. So yeah, you watched that, did you? Good. Nice. Have you seen that they update that? Yes, I saw they updated the DACA rules on the community. Thank you for bringing the chat back round to Warhammer again. Basically I knew that they would do that very quickly. There was a new orc detachment. See, some of these detachments that they release are great. Some of them are terrible. Just like the detachments in the Codex. Some of them are great. Some of them are terrible. Every now and then, math says there'll be an anomaly, and one is like stupid broken. And I knew that it was stupid broken. The internet knew it was stupid broken, and they've fixed the orc DACA detachment stratagem. And the latest rules are on Warhammer Community. So, personally, as an orc player, what I did was not play any orcs during that period. So I didn't have to learn and then unlearn a thing. So, yeah. It's nice having a couple of armies to juggle around. And also, that means that it's been updated. So, Badger, who turns up on Sunday with 4,000 points worth of orcs, including 2 stompers. If he wants to play that detachment, he can. With the more up-to-date, that's good. The thing about that one, by the way, guys, on Sunday, help with this. So, strap yourselves in, okay? We're locked in for this chat. We're locked in. Remind me about... I'll come to the chat, and then you remind me about the thing that I need to ask you about the thing on Sunday. The battle report on Sunday. When are you going to fly Angry Joe over for a game? That's a good question. He's invited me over there. I need to do that at some point. Any news on the return of Fear the Darkness? So, yes! Chat. So, there's 2 stompers coming. So, the idea is that I field Fear the Darkness, my Reaver Titan, and a bunch of knights versus his 2 stompers and his big stompy, lots of stompy things. On a 6x4 table, it'll get very brutal in the first 2 turns, and then there won't be anything left. That's on Sunday, and it's 4,000, and I'm looking forward to it. And what I wanted to ask you is, what's the narrative? What story? What battlefield? What am I doing there? I've got some ideas about objective. It's not a Pariah Nexus game, guys. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Help me design your battle reports. Sweet, can't wait. It sounds like a fun. It does. Help me design your battle reports. What should be on the table? What should we be fighting over? I haven't played 40k in about a year. The first year of 10th was just very depressing. Editions are like that, man. They come and go. Nice, kind person. Also protest tariff this. Blood Buffalo, thank you. Blood Buffalo, all the way from America, for his £2 GG. GG's all around in the chat. Thank you for your support on the channel. I appreciate it. 10th sucks, dude. It's not really 40k anymore. The core rules are still pretty good. It's the missions that suck. Have some, unless you lean into the suck, which I do half the time. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's see if this force actually can score lots of points. That's 40k now. You're not fighting over, I need that objective, you need this objective. You're not fighting over terrain control or for slaying the warlord. There's no points for slaying the warlord or the price of failure. That's all heresy stuff. You're not fighting over any battlefield objectives. You're trying to get points, and if you lean into the suck, that's fine, that's great, that's fun. I get it, and it's fun. But if you don't want to lean into it, if you're a narrative bunny, or if you're like, that's not what this game is about for you, because also when I put my other hat on, it's like, this is not what this game is about. It's not about that. This game is about objectives. Warlords should matter. The objectives should be like, you should have an objective, should have an objective, or there should be variable objectives throughout the game, but simple ones. Go do this, go take that, do hold this, don't, some simple stuff going on. If they built that system on the core of 40k as it is now and fixed a couple of little things here or there, like make terrain matter a bit more, just a bit more, make terrain matter a bit more, and some of the, I don't want to go into the rules too much because the rules change, and then they change again, and then they change again, and they get nerfed again and again. So who really cares, so long as they function to help bring a story to life? And with a tweak of 10th, you can do that. And the game isn't too far away from being a really good game. Really good game. And also, you can take that out, take bits away, and play it as a serious, here's all my points, I need my points thing. You start with the game system, you trim edges to competitive. You start with Call of Duty, you trim edges to search and destroy, CDL league stuff. That's how game competitive, that's how you start with the Sunday leagues, kicking 6-year-olds kicking balls around in the park. You start with that game that's accessible to everyone, and then you trim it and cut it down to the World Cup, where there's very strict rules, and it took you a long time to get there, and it's like, and that's the LVO, and everyone gets very sweaty. That's I think we're there. We're not there. I think 10th isn't there. But the core system isn't far from there. And with a bit of imagination and a bit of friendliness and a bit of talking to each other, just like myself and Luton did on the recent battle report that went up on Sunday, and that was awesome. And he's a great opponent, a great guy to play with. Helped me forge the narrative, helped me talk about the terrain beforehand, helped me talk about where the first fight was with him, where we had the second fight and what it meant for him and his Tomb World, and where we're thinking of taking that story forward. If you do that, 40k, the core rule system, well, it supports that. I'm doing it right now, so you can do that too. And it'd just be great if 11th edition had that baked in at the start with the things. Rant over. What was he talking about? Let's get back to the chat. At least we talked about 40k there for a minute, guys. We talked about the hobby. Thank you for joining me on the Blood Buffalo. Fix secondaries, help my group enjoy 40k more. Boom. Thank you for your $2 donation. Court 50 Australian 50. Thank you so much for your GG's in the chat to Blood Buffalo and Court, by the way. Absolutely. I don't recall Court commenting before. So I've been watching your content since I got into the hobby. You're the only Battle Report channel I keep up with. Keep up the effort, Winters. We all appreciate it. I appreciate you, Court. Thank you very much. GG's to these two legends. Absolute. What are we talking about? Anyway, thanks, man. GG's. Thank you, Redrich. Thanks. Have the orcs heard of all the shiny gubbins within a forge? Perhaps they're wanting... Oh, yeah, I asked you about what we should do on the battle report, didn't I? Let's see what your ideas were for the battle report for Sunday. Objective markers shouldn't be in little circles. They should be in terrain features. That's exactly what we did with the battle report with me and Luton. But I see your overall comment about the game itself. Yes, like making the bridges and the statues. Your game against the Necrons, the statues and the bridges. That was great. Nice, yeah. Have the orcs heard of all the shiny gubbins within the forge? Perhaps they're waiting to fill their pockets. You're thinking about the battle report that I'm filming on Sunday. Thank you, chat, for trying to answer the question. I need help here. 4,000 points on Sunday. We have a Titan and some Imperial Knights fighting off against Orc big stonky things. Stompy things. Stonky? Yeah, that works. What's the story? Forge World, like that idea. I like that idea. There's gubbins. So on the terrain, see, even that simple premise, by the way, the orcs have heard of all the shiny gubbins within the forge. Simple premise. Tells me what the table looks like and that there's shiny gubbins that could be objectives that we're fighting over. I imagine in this 4,000 point game, by the way, that one side is going to win utterly by turn 3 or 4. That's what normally happens in really big games. And even bigger games, by the way. If you guys say yes in the chat, one in the chat, tell me there's like 40 of us here now, so I'm sure there's a couple of you who've played really big games, 10,000 point games, 20,000 point games. I know I have. Don't play them as much these days, but when you get to big games, most of the time, most of one army is dead by turn 3, 4. Definitely by turn 4. It's really rare to get to turn 5. Am I right here? Is this a yes or no, chat? Is this a yes or no? So I'm under no illusion that at about 4,000 points, it's going to be very hard for us to get to the very end of the game, but I do like the idea of gubbins. Am I right, chat? Anyone? Big games? Is that just me? I have 10k points in Nature's was amazing. I mean, yes. Is that yes or no? Objective to send a message to your battle barge or bombing runs. Looks like there's no way to maneuver in apocalypse games. Yeah, when you get to big games, you need to go around to a mate's house who's got 2 tables that you can stick together, such as James from marchofwar.co.uk. So we need to start filming some big games up at his gaff or at Warhammer World, where I've played really big games, or in my mate's garages growing up. Are you going to use Apocalypse games for turn 1? Nah, I don't think so. Orcs are using their stompers to break open 2 very important vaults objectives. Orcs score points for the stompers being on the objectives. Knights get points for killing the stompers. See, what happens there is orcs can get points for killing the stomp. Orcs points holding objectives. You get points for killing things. So let's say you kill the things. Then 2 things happen once you've killed the things. Either the orcs haven't got the points and can never get the points, or the orcs have got more points than you can get from killing the things. So either the orcs auto win or auto lose after you kill the things, and it all comes down to how many points you give away for killing the stompers. So you can't, I don't think that works. You need objectives that you both are trying to get points for. Never had the pleasure or time. 5k siders are good. Big heresy big games are incredible. Do you have whirlwinds in the 13th? I have 1. So no yes or no's on the things. Got it. Yeah, so when you play big games, particularly when you play big games, you can have A-sided objectives if you're doing attack or defend missions, but that still relies on people scoring objectives with an attacker side, not having any objectives to hold. But if you know you're doing that, you can still pretty much balance it around however many points, which are fairly even points, because when attackers know that they don't need to hold any objectives, they can spend all of their points on offense. Yeah. Warhammer. Titan trying to destroy fuel depots that are being used to fuel the Orc advance. See, Akachalo turning on its head there. Instead of the Orcs coming for my gubbins, I'm going for their gubbins. The Titan is blowing up some of their scrap and bits and things. I like it. Orcs are invading a city and the Knights are being deployed in to defend it. Betrayer, ADB style. Would be awesome on a bigger table, but on a 6x4 table with buildings and big stompy things, what you're doing is not giving yourself much room. But it would look cool. You need to think about that one. Think about that one, that's good. Yeah. Chat's calmed down. Anyway, chat, thanks for being here. Thanks for the 33 likes that we have on the stream. Thank you for joining in on this Talky Tuesday with me, your host, Winters SEO. Consistency is the key when it comes to the hobby and to YouTube. Recreate Hell's Reach Knights defending the Hive City. Winters, you should do a Dawn of War style game, but bigger table. What gets null oil out of a carpet? You're screwed. It never comes out. It's time to burn the house down. Thanks for letting us join you. No, thank you for joining. No, thank you for joining me. You don't thank me. I thank you. This is how this works. I thank you. There's penguins out there that you could be watching right now. Penguins riding penguins. Instead, you're here with me. So thank you. How about a wounded Reaver is being hunted by da boys, and the Night House is there to defend. Titan destroyed his game over. Yeah. Game setup is hard to balance with big models. A few Titans or gargantuan squiggles on the table and moving around terrain gets tricky. Yep. Hola, Sullivan Gilbert, legend. Thank you for joining the chat. Don't tell your missus and you will survive. What is this about the null and oil thing? She'll notice the house burning down. I will enjoy the cake. Thank you, Killer. I've written it down. Cake, Killer Creedsman. I've written it down. So yeah, what are we talking about this evening? Yes, I wasn't here yesterday because there was a bit of a warp disturbance. We're here today. We finished the coffee in the Winters SEO. I am not wearing the merch again, but I'm definitely shouting about the Mug Club. If that doesn't get another like on the stream, I don't know what does. Steve McGrath, greetings. Arcachalo, hi. Sunday pre-orders. What are you talking about? There is. I have painted a couple of. Look, I've got two of these now. These Lord dudes. What are they called? Lord Exaltants. Because I've got two Champions of Slanesh boxes. So these guys are just too good not to bring two of. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's a bit spammy, Winters. Two of the guys? Are you going to do three? And my answer to that is yes. I'm going to do three of these guys. The Lord Exaltant dudes. They're good. In Emperor's Children, three of them. Is that a bit spammy? Well, you can't spam any more than three. So I guess the answer to that is it's a bit spammy. But any Emperor's Children players in the chat, anyone's in the chat, any Emperor's Children's, you will know that your codex, it's not really a codex. It's more like a pamphlet with some demon sellotape to the back of it. That you need to spam because you don't have many options in the pamphlet. So I've got two of them. A third one is coming. And pre-orders and things. There is some NDA stuff that I've already filmed a thing with one guy, but I don't think that's going to come out on the Sunday battle report when the NDA goes. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks away. And what I should, because there's some other stuff that I need to release first. And also, I should have really done a video about these things. But they're all over, when they come out, they're all over the internet anyway. And there's many channels doing it better than this channel. This channel is pretty good at battle reports. We're okay at battle reports. And we've got a great community. Spam, 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 spam. You've got to spam. There's spam. You've got to spam it because the Emperor's Children, they need the spam. And if you're going to be excessive in any army, it's the Emperor's Children. So we're spamming it. But yeah, we can't, we should really be doing some videos about some of the other stuff. Which I will be spamming with Emperor's Children. But it's just this better content than this that I watch when that stuff comes out. I'm amazed that anyone's watching now. The actual best battle report channel. Thank you, Nick. You see, we do one thing right. Maybe not the best, but it's pretty good. Despite its obvious disadvantages. I rather like your unboxing shorts. Do you? Maybe I should do some unboxing shorts. Do you like them? I think they're just so... I'm trying to find something funny to say when I'm doing an unboxing short. Like, if someone's actually watching this and wants to see what the sprue's inside, if I wanted to watch an unboxing short, why would I be wanting... What's the only reason I want to see the sprues? So get to the sprues, say something funny, get out of there. And so don't make them 60 seconds long. Make them 10 if you can. But thanks. I see Jink likes boxer shorts. I'm more of a, I don't do the boxer shorts. Sprues for the sprue god. Yeah, it's nice to see the sprues, isn't it? It's just nice to see some sprues. Like, what is the sprue? Do you like them? Should I do more? Sullivan Gilbert. I'm not stood in a pair of unboxing shorts. I've got my gym jams on. No, I'm not standing up and showing you again. Witty remarks. You watch them for the witty remarks? Nice. Witty remarks. Again, I'm trying to put a witty remark in there sometimes. And sometimes, you fire the arrow. And sometimes you take someone's eye out. Unbox a chaos box and there's a 13th model in there. Ha ha. I'm not a commando man. There was a time when I was. Okay, back in uni and stuff. I was back then. I let it all hang out, man. But I have not been a commando man for a very long time. Unbox a pair of boxer shorts. I've had a few requests in my time, Jack Carter, but that's up there. That made me laugh. Oh dear, witty remarks. We're still waiting. Thank you, Sullivan Gilbert. There's a Kate. See, that was witty. See, now you see. I don't need to make the witty remarks when you make the witty remarks. So how was Fulgrim to build Winters? I cannot confirm or deny anything that may or may not be releasable on NDA anytime soon. I can't believe Valrak hasn't been on a report yet. Yeah, I mean, we've talked. But honestly, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to come here. He's much more in the public eye than I am, and he's a great guy. And I don't want to pester. I don't want to be the guy to pester him, because if he wants to, he knows where I am. He knows where I am. Valrak, if you want to come down, play on a battle report. We've met before. You're a great guy. I think we had a lot of fun together. Those long nights back in the casino. You remember them. On the battle barge, in Gibraltar. Those long, hot summer nights. And the No Retreat Legend of Legend Champions, where you went home with a prize and I went home with a prize. Essentially, that makes us twins, yo. Because have you noticed the kids on the street now, by the way, they don't say bro. They don't say, yo, bro, or how's it going, bro? Or in the video games, I hear them saying, behind you, bro. No, bro is like, that's millennial. The kids today say twin, because twin is closer than bro. I got you, twin. That's what they say. And me and you, basically twins. And if you want to come down and have a battle report, Luton did it. And he was too afraid to bring his Ultramarines up here and get them on the channel because he didn't want them. If I trashed his Ultramarines, then he knew that you'd be all over him. About Imperial Fists are so much better than Ultramarines, and look at Windows Battle Report, trashing Luton. And see, he didn't want to bring his Ultramarines here. He brought his Necrons. But I'm here, and we're twins. And if you want to bring your Imperial Fist down on the channel, I promise I'll be gentle. He knew the Ultramarines couldn't stand up to the 13th. We're on the same side, Twin. Twin, we're on the same side. I was going to say Cert 518. We're on the same side, bro. But Twin just jumped out of there. Where's Winters based? I'm in Swindon. Home of knife crime, chlamydia, and people who drive tractors. It's a great place. There are some nice bits. I'm on a nice bit. I'm right on the edge. I'm not in the middle. At least it's not Birmingham, right? Because you've seen the Birmingham rats. They're like the rats eating the dogs in Birmingham now. There's huge. I mean, when I was growing up, there was a girlfriend. She had a rat. I've got nothing against rats. But the ones in Birmingham right now, they are evolving to the next level, I tell you. It's amazing. Anyway, no politics on the channel. That wasn't a political statement. We were just talking about mutant rats that one day might rise up and take over the world. Where are we, chat? 40 likes on the stream. Wow. What's the best thing to see in Swindon? Depends on what's on the cinema that week. Rats the size of cats. Spare me your charity. My firstborn Black Templars. What's this? Great work. Grateful work. Set in Cumbria today. Lovely up here. Sullivan Gilbert. I don't give a rat's ass. Where the hell you are. Okay. You can stay in Cumbria for as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea where Cumbria is, by the way. Basically, if something's too far north for me, I don't know where it is. It's, yeah, they have rats up there. Who would want to go that far north? We're on the Eternal Crusader, brother. See, Jack Carter, you should say we're on the Eternal Crusader twin. That's what the kids are saying now. Get down with the kids, yo. That's basically, I've pinned my whole career on it. Liam T, the best thing to see in Swindon is the sign saying you're leaving Swindon. Yeah, I've often said, Liam, you're not too far from the truth. The good thing about Swindon is it's close to lots of places that are nice. Avebury and Stonehenge are down the road that way. The Cotswolds is 15 minutes that way. Bristol Airport is rather close. Oxford, Bath, lovely places. Yeah, everywhere out of Swindon is pretty good. There are plenty worse places. I know. There are plenty worse places. I once lived in Southend. Winters has an Orkney accent to my ears. RTRT. What the hell? Emotional damage. Heresy. Cumbria is northwest. Cumbria is northwest. Heresy. Cumbria is northwest. Isn't that Wales? Isn't that Anglesey? I'm not from Manchester, I'm afraid. I'm from Glasgow. You see, Glasgow's fine. The Scottish, they're absolutely fine. I love the Scottish. Don't want any Scottish people ever being angry with me, ever. I'm very afraid. Love the Scottish people. Every Scottish person who's ever come all the way down here from Scotland to be in a battle report blows my mind. And they have been lovely, lovely people. Please don't stab me. I live in Swindon. I live in fear all the time. More rats in Oxford than Swindon. Well, it's a city and we're a town. There's more people there. It's really not. I have Google Earth. What are we talking about, chat? Can we talk about Warhammer, please? Swindon is a place you drive through to get somewhere else. It is. Some bits of Cumbria are worse than Swindon. Really? Enlighten me. I'll defend the motherland. Someone's got to. Still need to get you up here, Winters. Where? What? Scotland? Got a bottle Buckfirst with your name on it. See, the problem with Scotland, I've always wanted to go to Scotland. I do want to get to Scotland, but it is such a long way away. Whereabouts in Swindon do I live? Well, here's my address on air. I'm half hour from Warhammer World. Never been. You need to get to Warhammer World, bro. Come on now. How's your Emperor's Children army coming along? Got you any pre-orders? Yes. So thank you for bringing the chat back to Warhammer. I've got 2,000 points of painted Emperor's Children. Like the last battle report, I think, had a knight up it. To bulk up the points, I was like 400 and something points off, or 380 points. Why I started talking like that, I don't know. But yeah, so we've got the two Lord dudes. What are these called, chat? What are they called again? These Lord things? We're going to spam a third. and a few other bits and pieces. And I'll be painting up a few other bits and pieces, and apparently I need to do YouTube shorts on them before I paint them up and the NDA expires and all the other videos appear on all the other channels about the stuff. Do I bother? It seems like there is a demand. So who am I but an internet whore on YouTube, and I will follow that demand. Where are we? Witcheslow, Dorkin, Eldine. Are you just shouting out places in Swindon, brother, twin? Seriously now. Are you on Google Earth zooming into my position? None of those. Witcheslow is actually quite a nice place in Swindon. That's South Swindon. I said I was in a nice place of Swindon. It's around the edges. Anywhere in the there's more the closer you get to the Eye of Terror, the more mutants there are in the core. Okay. Don't call me brother Cast. What are we talking about? What are we chat? Where are we? Shall we reset this chat? We'll reset this. We've talked about some Warhammer though this evening though, so I'm quite proud of you guys. I mean, we started off on penguins. I don't know who started that conversation. Then there was a bit of obviously food. We've done Swindon and insulted most people in the UK, and we have done a bit of Warhammer. So I think this evening we have been going well. There were a few things that I wrote down, but let's get to the chat. What the fudge is Warhammer? This is what we're dealing with, chat. What is Warhammer? Why is Warhammer? Who is Gamora? Winters, what do you think about the year of chaos so far? Daily Dice, I'm not sure they ever said it was going to be a year of chaos. I'm not sure they said that. I think that was the internet turning it into a meme. And so far, we're a quarter in and we've had a brand new faction, the Emperor's Children. So imagine if every quarter of every year we had another brand new faction. That would be epic. So how do I think of it so far? I think it's epic. Do I want more chaos? Yeah, of course. But it's going to be a year of it, maybe, unless that was only a meme. I think we're going to get some more chaos very, very soon. I'm in Maine, USA, not far. I'm afraid, Nick, you are a long way away. Year of Chaos, more like Weekend of Discomfort. Listen, it's a new faction. It's a new faction. We're going to get World Eaters and Death Guard and all. We're going to get it. As long as we get more Space Marines. The Emperor's Children are more Space Marines. The World Eaters and the Death Guard are more Space Marines. They like selling Space Marines. There's lots of different types. Many Space Marines, not just Lieutenant on rocks, and there's not enough Lieutenants. Heresy Squat, thank you with a £5 donation. Cake for Mrs. Winters. She doesn't want cake, but I'm going to put cake. So we have cake from Killer Kriegsman and cake from Heresy Squat. Can we have GG's in the chat for Heresy Squat, please? GG's in the chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. You're a true one. Always dropping air with donations. I see you. Thank you very much. But probably not cake for Mrs. Winters. Mind you, she does like that new marble cake from Aldi with a chocolate coating on the outside, which isn't too sweet and isn't too sugary. It's only about £1.50. That cake is nice. We like that cake. GG's, GG's. I'm World Eaters, but I lose every game. You need more forward, more speed. Rhinos, World Eaters, lean into it. More Rhinos, more World Eaters, lean into it. As fast as you can get, as quickly as you can get up the table. Don't worry about points. If you lose half of your army in the way in, you win. Because half of your army should be able to output their entire army. And that has been World Eaters in every edition and in Horus Heresy since the dawn of time. Always be charging A, B, C. What you need is a unit of jackals sat on your home objective. They're just sitting there. For the enemy to get to that, they have to get through your entire army, or Deep Strike can come spinning around the back. And if they do, Let them deep strike and come spinning and strategically advancing and reserving all around the back. Fine, let them do that, because you'll overrun the rest of their army. And rhinos are good, and as many world eaters, corn berserkers as you can get your hands on, as much speed as you can get your hands on. And rhinos are good for at least 2 units as well, because they can do stupid things called actions in this edition and get you behind enemy lines, or get you doing something on an objective somewhere, or they can do those things for you while the rest of your army is ABCing. Always be charging, and you will win. 40k Space Marine Breachers, please, Games Workshop. I think you mean 30k, but both would be good, in 40k and 30k. Imagine that, Breachers in... I mean, you got Blade Guard, and you can give more pit and... They're not Blade Guard, though, are they? They're Marines with shields. Winter's anti-actions confirmed. What are we talking about? Actions are terrible. Think of the poor custodians. Look, as I said it earlier on. No, let's talk about actions. So, okay. Actions suck. I'm going to say it. Actions suck. And the reason why actions suck, quite simply, is this. When I'm playing a game, I want to interact with you and your army. And you can have stratagems, and you can have reactions, and you can have deep striking, and you can have, in fact, have all the things. Have all the chocolate on the cake, and the icing, and the cream, and a cherry. Have all the stuff, and the big toys, and the little toys, and the swarms. Have all the stuff all the time. I want to be interacting with you and your army as much as I possibly can. In my turn and in your turn. Fun. And when you have actions... I've stopped interacting with you. I'm interacting with some rules. I am following these rules on this board edge, or I am following these rules on this objective, or I am moving some of my stuff over there. That's actions. Now, there's ways to stop actions. Oh, he's doing that now. Yeah, they've got the pans out and they are sieving for gold. Okay. And you could try and stop them and steal their gold. But then you're interacting with them again. Actions suck because it's a war game and I want to interact with you and your army and your gorgeous models and dice rolling as much as possible. And actions stop me from doing that. That's my take on actions. What do you think? That could be clippable, chat. Tell me about it. That could be clippable. Let's go to the chat. Valid says, what the 40k? Boom! That's all we live for, being a YouTuber. That vindication coming off the top rope like that. Valid. Boom! Click it, says, what the 40k? That's all I live for. It's like a little dopamine hit, like boom. Someone agrees with me. Rather than ranting about fish or something. Why sabotage a destroyed building, by the way? Yeah, I mean, unless it was written into the core description for a mission. So a core description for a mission might be, say, mission 3 in the main rulebook could be called sabotage. And you could get D3 points for every item of terrain that you are able to sabotage or sabotage throughout the course of the game. And so you want to be on those trees, you want to be on the thing, and if you do this, you sabotage it. And then when your opponent moves onto that objectives, if ever they take control of that objectives, maybe they suffer D6 mortal wounds because you've sabotaged that objective, and then they can sabotage it back again and get D3 points for each item of terrain on that thing and fight that mission out. And have an extra point for Slay the Warlord, and have an extra point for Survivor, having more units left over. Not kill more, but have more units left over because you're trying to sabotage setbacks, which also means you will be also trying to kill your opponent, particularly if at the start of the mission they start off with more units than you. You'll need to kill more because you want more surviving at the end. But bake it into the mission set rather than, hey, let's do an action over there and start sabotaging this terrain piece in the middle of the battle, and there are no consequences to that other than I get some points. Yeah, so there's ways to do actions which are good, which you can bake into the core rules, but in the middle of a thing when you're trying to do, when I don't want to be interacting with that rule, I'd rather be interacting with you. And doing actions as part of a mission means you're doing them too. It's like a side quest that we're both doing together. So there's an interactive element there. Battle line keyword deserves more shoot action. Get rid of actions is what I say. Get rid of actions. Even in Pariah Nexus, you can have other secondary objectives as well. Take an objective, hold an objective, get behind enemy lines. You can have movement-based stuff, kill stuff, kill more stuff, don't lose stuff. You can have kill, capture, secure thing, but actions. Do we want actions? In Pariah Nexus, proper tournament, CDL, WTC, GCSE tournaments, you can have all the actions in the world if you want. That's fine. Help differentiate the skill gap between experienced, regular, competitive players and casuals. Because some people want to play that game of 40k, and there should be more Warhammer more often. But that could be a different mission pack. For the main rules, get rid of actions. Oh dear. Anyway, chat, thank you. Rant, gun, clip it. We think that's clippable, do we, chat? I wrote that down. We think that's clippable. Where are we? We're an hour in. We're doing well. We've talked about some of the things that I actually got on my list. Do we need more Battle Shock rules? Battle Shock could definitely be improved. Games Workshop haven't known what to do with leadership for a while now. Recent game, Guilliman have sprinted away from a chimera to establish a locus. Yeah, so here we go. In a recent game, Guilliman sprinted away from a chimera to establish a locus. Immersion breaking, play fixed. Yes, immersion breaking, play fixed secondaries. Guilliman running off. I'm going to put a teleport thing down. It's, yeah. I hate Battle Shock. I miss sweeping advances. No more Battle Shock. Morale, all these things. So if you miss sweeping advances and you hate Battle Shock, then you should really try Heresy, because the leadership system in there is complicated, but it feels like a leadership system. In 40k, they could do a version of, rather than strip it all away. So, yeah, in Heresy, you can get pinned. There are shell shock mechanics, which makes pinning more likely. You can get pinned from explosions. You can fall back from getting shot and charged and all sorts of things. And then there's an opportunity, if you're falling back from a break result after a combat. You've charged, you've broken, it hasn't worked, you fall back. There is a chance on a dice off between you and your opponent whether that entire unit gets picked up and removed. Brilliant. We want dice rolling in there. We want it to be nasty. We want ones to mean something and sixes to be awesome. But there's a lot of it, and it's Heresy, and it's good. And leave that alone, please. It's good. It's written with the narrative in mind. 40k, Battle Shock, yeah. They could change it, though. They could have Battle Shock be Battle Shock, but at the moment, it just turns off your OC and does it. For me, I would make leadership, quite simply, I would introduce a pinning keyword. So some weapons pin. And if you get hit by, we've got suppression weapons at the moment, that -2 to your movement. There's a lot of that going on. But you know how like Fight First is so rare at the moment? Imagine if every faction had access to 1, maybe 2 units that could actually pin, where you shoot the thing, and if they fail a Battle Shock test, they can't move next turn. But it's rare. You got a few things that could do it. That would be awesome. Suppressors for Space Marines, but it could be all sorts of weird psychic shenanigan stuff. It could be pinning. Pinning could be a thing, and then there could be a rule on some data sheets like this unit is immune to pinning. There could be stuff like that for Calgar, for Knights, for but pinning would be fine. You could just write it in there, fail of Battle Shock test. The other thing you could do is, instead of losing the OC and the thing, you could actually say that unit, you fail your Battle Shock test, that unit moves. So most of the time that will get them off the objective. Say you actually fall back 6 inches. So you can implement more meaningful Battleshock rules back into 40k, I think that would be a good thing. At the moment, they're a bit tame. No. They're just written very clearly with scoring in mind, which is fine for this game system. But there's a way to do that and add a bit of flavour and add a bit of narrative. That's all I'm saying. Well, the 40k member for a month. Thank you for being a member for a month. Absolute legend. The idea of fixed secondaries as a means to force an overarching narrative goal is compelling. But would it be player choice or defined by the mission? Yeah, I'm saying that there's... So, I would say defined by the mission. And I would say this is in addition to a Pariah Nexus Leviathan mission pack. I'm saying not one or the other. I'm saying both. I'm saying, say there was some fixed missions in the main... Look, before 10th edition, it's 10th now, isn't it? Before 10th edition, there was all the other editions of 40k had some fixed missions in the main rulebook, and this edition doesn't. It has one. So what I'm saying is, in 11th edition, 12th edition, 13th edition, 14th edition, I would have 6, 10 fixed missions in the main rulebook for casual players, and many of them would have rules where there are fixed secondaries, such as blow this up, slay the warlord, Titan killer, whatever, some fixed secondaries in there. And here's the ticket. In the main rulebook, you could choose to turn them on or off. You could choose to put them in your missions or not. Or you could roll, say, a d6 or 2d6 and see what fate says, see what Tzeentch says, and say, oh, this time we're playing Behind Enemy Lines mission number 10. And this time Tzeentch says our fixed secondary mission is slay the warlord. And so you stick that in there. Or you have, like, you roll on it 3 times. Or if it's a d6, you roll on it twice. So you give the players the option of playing with fixed second, and put that in the main rulebook. Have fixed secondaries, fixed missions in the main rulebook. I'd be playing half of the channels on the YouTubes right now, making battle reports, as well as doing Pariah Nexus stuff, will be showing you these other mission types that Games Workshop can and have always had in the main rulebook. And then there was the open war cards that we had back in the day, and the Maelstrom of War cards that we had back in the day. You can do both. The game should have both. And then if you want to do the super sweaty, get all the points things, you can do that as well. And as I said, I kind of mess with that too. I do lean into that as well sometimes. I do like it. I get what they're going for, but you got to lean into it. Makes the sense. Much appreciated. Thank you. Bolt action does it well. Tournament play looks boring. Deploy something near the edge for the... Some people love it. Some people love it. Yeah, I've just been in the hobby so long that I'm lucky enough, and I play enough, so I'm lucky enough to do multiple versions of this game. So this weekend, I'm playing against 4,000 points worth of orcs with 2 great big stompers. And then that's what I'm playing on Sunday. And at the same time that I'm playing that game, there's a 2,000 point game where I go into it, lean into the 40k with Knights versus Eldar, because there's been an Eldar problem killing the Eldar. So I brought Knights to a gunfight. And I don't feel bad about it because it's Eldar. I'm just lucky enough to be able to play both sides of the coin. And I wish there was a third side as well that they promoted just as much, like Apocalypse, proper Apocalypse rule sets. There's just something, why isn't there a proper... And bake that into the main core rules as well. I've got some ideas on how you do Apocalypse games at 4,000 points. Why isn't Games Workshop writing rules for 4,000 points and above in the main rulebook? And then a pamphlet, Apocalypse, a pamphlet in there, 6 pages. I can give you some ideas, Games Workshop. If you're listening, I can give you some good ideas about how to make 4,000 point games quick. And wouldn't it be great if you were selling that many miniatures. Should be in there. More ways to play Warhammer. Saturday, I'm playing a tournament with Hammer of the Emperor. Finally a reason to bring all my tanks. Nice. See, that should be really good fun, except for the fact that you're bringing Hammer of the Emperor, which is a terrible detachment. But playing with all the tanks, I've done that with the Imperial Guard recently. I'm enjoying that. Honestly, I'm deep in the hobby when it comes to the Emperor's Children and the Imperial Guard right now. I'm enjoying both of them very muchly. I should do some more Imperial Guard stuff. Hi, Jink. Are you back? You're welcome back. Jack Carter. What army? Yeah, 6 pages. That's twice the size of the Emperor's Children Codex. Yeah, I know, man. 6 pages of Apocalypse. They get it with some nice pictures in the main rulebook. 12 pages. Some big titans in there. Have you ever thought about getting a 3D printer? No. I've considered investing in one. There's many people who have. The problem with 3D printers is they become a hobby on top of a hobby. I've heard that from it's not as much of a time-consuming hobby as your general hobby, but it does take up time. And the fortunate thing with me is I know a lot of people with 3D printers. So if I really need a thing, I miss old school Apocalypse, like 3 monolith triangle. Yeah, man, the 3 monoliths. Why isn't there Apocalypse main rules in the main rule set? Yeah. 3 Riptides, 3 Imperial. Yeah, there's money on a platter. It's right there. And put it in the main rule book. Here's some Apocalypse. Hi, we're Warhammer. Welcome to 11th edition. And you flick through 11th edition, and there's some core maps and missions in there for filthy casuals. And there's also a pamphlet-sized chunk, 6-10 pages of Apocalypse rules in the main rule set for missions when playing with 4,000 points or more. And here's some rules to make the first turn not be as brutal, but here's some other rules as well. If you're playing Apocalypse 4,000 points or more, you must bring full units of stuff. No 5 of this and 5 of this and 5 of that. No, that's 10, 10, 10. And if your units have to come in 20 size, they have to come in 20 size. And if your tanks are in squadrons, you have to bring 3 of them. You have to bring full stuff. And it's in the main rule book, and Games Workshop are making that money. That money is just, it's sat there. And then that speeds up the game because of an Apocalypse. And then you bring in an Apocalypse rule set. And the Apocalypse rule set for 11th edition basically says you can't split fire all over the place. Your units are shooting at a maximum of 2 units only. So your anti-infantry guns can shoot into the infantry. Your big tank guns can shoot 2 units only. 2 units only. And if you're out of range of shooting at the second unit with the thing, then tough. You don't shoot it. It will speed up the game immensely. And you can have some detachments in there. Some Apocalypse detachments in there. And this Apocalypse detachment is called Big Machines. And what it does is, for every vehicle that you bring on a data sheet, you can bring 3 of them for that one data sheet. So Land Raiders, it costs, you can only bring 3, right? No. You bring the Big Machines data sheet for the Apocalypse rule sets. You can bring 3 Land Raiders for 1 data sheet. You bring 3 monoliths for 1 data sheet. You can bring 3 of any big thing for 1 data sheet, but only if they have the vehicle or monster keyword or something like that. Boom, in there, 1 rule, doom. Games Workshop, making money. Banks and banks of money, and it's in the main rules, and it's giving people permission to play 40k their way. On top of all the prior Nexus stuff, on top of that, it's simple stuff. I mean, chat, what do you think? Am I wrong? Am I a genius? What is going on here? Isn't that money on the table right there? That's just one detachment, Big Machines. There's other detachments you can have, flying machines. You want to, airplanes are a bit down in this edition. Hey, here's some rules to make them really good and people to buy all the aircraft. And you have air wars. Damn, man, it's just money on the table. Am I a genius? Am I a tactical genius? Are we agreeing? Genius. Thank you, Archallow. He's coming in there. Boom, genius. A little bit of dopamine there. Being a genius, been confirmed. Thank you, chat. I appreciate you. Oh dear, that's all us YouTubers hang in here for. That little bit. We hate ourselves so much. Are we talking about Get Battlefield Gothic? No, I was trying to drop some Genius bombs, but I don't know. Bring back 4D. No one else said Genius, just one. We can have both. The part of me feels Games Workshop struggles to keep up with the stock. The Games Workshop does struggle to keep up with the stock as it is, which is why they're building another factory, which is going online in January 2026. And it'll increase their output capacity by a third. So yeah, they know they can't keep up. They got 4 main game systems now. A couple of years ago it was AOS 40k. Now it's AOS 40k Old World Heresy. Can't drip feed over 3 years if you dump all the good stuff in the core rulebook. Yes, but you don't need to drip feed over 3 years. If the release of your edition is so good, your share price goes up by a bajillion %, like it did when 8th edition dropped. 8th edition dropped, their share price went up like 1,000% in 6 months. Keep those people happy. And most of the people who came back in at the start of 8th edition were not like, I want to win a tournament. They were like, gee, this looks like a really good time to start the hobby. Let's have some fun. And the edition was the most accessible, easily accessible. It was the accessible edition. And loads and loads of people came back. You can have that and tournament. It doesn't have to be either. But they seem to be, I mean, the pendulum seems to be swinging right now. They got to hold on to their balls. Good evening from not Japan. Hi, Tazanara. You started filming Shogun Season 2 yet? I'm really looking forward to watching it. Still have the Marine. What are we talking about? I'd love some Apocalypse rules. Like the original Apocalypse book. Thank you, Arcchalo. Thank you. I want some Apocalypse rules. Entire armies in a box. You would sell your kidney for entire armies in a box? They could do big, expensive boxes. Like, say it became a thing. So the way the Games Workshop would need to do this isn't to drop a box and then another box and then another box. The way they do it is they announce they're coming out with Battle Force boxes. We've got Combat Patrol boxes and drop 10 Battle Force boxes in a hit. And they're like £300, £400. I mean, the Age of Darkness box for Heresy is like nearly 200. Isn't it? It's like 170 from Element Games or something. I forget. It's expensive, but you could drop like £300 boxes. But it's full of plastic. And it makes 1,000 points or something. And if you did that across 10 armies, like boom, this Christmas, and then next Christmas there's 10 more, they would make a lot of money on that as well. Because some people would look at that and they go, well, if I bought them all individually, it would cost me £600, but if I buy them in this box, it's literally half price. They would buy the box. I want them to re-release Space Marine Company box for the whatever now. Yeah, I'm sure the Primaris version will be coming at some point. All the bits that they thinged away, they'll be coming back. Where are we? Let's go up here. Someone said something nice. Jack Carter, that's why your reports are so good. It's just chill. Thank you. Thanks. 100 intercessors tempo. What are we talking about, chat? What are we talking about? What did I want to talk about? Did I mention Luton? At the weekend. We mentioned the battle report of the weekend, didn't we? We talked about that. The 4,000 points of orcs. We've done that. I've got some ideas. Thank you. And then the battle report on Sunday is the one with me and Dark Angels Chris, so that's a good one. And you'd love to see that. Good, right. The new Interceptor City book is good. Land Raider spam, yes. Come Liverpool winters, you'll love it here. Liverpool. I won't. Dark Angels Chris, yeah, on Sunday. It's a battle report on. He is Eldar. He's come Jink. You weren't here earlier on. I'm fighting Eldar on Sunday. I have an Eldar problem. Jink, you know. So I unleashed the Imperial Knights on the Eldar. I don't feel bad about it. It's a very close game. Very close game. But you know, I bring an Imperial Knight to a gunfight. I'm looking for a name for my Reaver Titan. Any ideas? Yes. Timmy. Timmy the Titan. Darkkin only. No. He's got Eldar. He's got his Craftworld Eldar. If you had a gun to your head and you were forced to delete one 40k army from the game forever, which one would it be and why? Eldar. Craftworld Eldar. Why? Space elves in space. It's tired. It's old. Get rid of them. They ruined everything. Get rid of them. Let their species die. Have a book series which deals deeply and seriously with the death of the Craftworld Eldar and their annihilation. Let the Harlequins live. Let the Dark Eldar live. But get rid of them utterly once. Bring the Urain story arc to fruition over a number of years. Get Dan Abnett, ADB, someone on that. Let's move the narrative forward and wipe out that range. That would be awesome. Heroes may rise and fall. And clear the path. Burn the forest down. The empire needs to die. And let something new and special rise up. And let's have the true reborn warriors of Yvrain and the Incarn. This half Slaneshi wraith constructy thing with the soul stones. They become a living, evolving, growing wraithbone infinity circuit being things. A new Xenos faction coming out. So all Eldar players, they can go wild into it, but let it be done. Let the universe have consequences. Let some heroes die in that. Kill Kalgar or Dante or something. Let's make something significant happen. Just like the Yellow King, just like all the rumours behind what Dan Abnett might be doing at Queen Mab, do that again somewhere with the Eldar. That's what I'd do. I'd wipe them out. That would be epic. You could sell a lot of miniatures and a lot of books, and probably a good video game off the back of that if they plan that far in advance. But they won't, they don't, they can't. That's not how big companies function, but that's how I would do it. Ynnari crystallized death freaks. Exactly. There could be some awesome modeling opportunities and sculpts out there. Wipe out my lovely craft welders. I think GW should maybe wipe out the 13th instead. No! Your craft welders get wiped out. See, the thing is, wipe them out from the lore, still release a codex for them, and let it be the last codex. And then whenever the edition changes, free update codex for you, PDF online, so you can play the new edition with all the stuff, but it's free and it's online and it's for all the old Craftworld Eldar players, so you can play it in the new edition and the new edition and the new edition. So you're essentially playing like, hey, before the Craftworlders were wiped out, here are the rules for them in this edition, and I can play your orcs. And we're playing 100 years before the current timeline, and it's Warhammer 40k 13th edition, something like that. But give you the update rules for the units that they not nerf, but no longer support. In a way they kind of do right now, but with more support. So you can continue to play it. But they don't sell your stuff anymore. And you know what happens to your stuff? The stuff they don't sell anymore? It gets expensive, yo. Have you tried to buy any lead stuff online? Anyone out there who's sitting on any lead models at home in their collection, stay sat on them, because old Rogue Trader stuff, a lot of money. First edition sculpts now, a lot of money. And and I'm just saying, the Eldar time is over. Those boys need to die now. But make it glorious. It's 40k, it's grim dark. Make it a glorious end. Votan was a miss. You had scrapped Votan. I think the lore behind the Votan was a hit. I think they got that right. And damn, that's hard to say, but it makes sense. Like where they've been, why they've been there, why they got away with it during the heresy and all the other times. Why not a lot of people know about them. And they are, the side that they need to get right is lean on the evil side a bit more and have more iron kin, have more AI constructs. Let's have more models which are not just pseudo Terminators or pseudo Berserkers or pseudo Land Raiders. Lean into it a bit more. On the model side of things, but on the lore side of things, it was a good first punt, in my humble opinion. But I'm just a voice on the internet. How did two modes go unfound in heresy? I'm sure they found a few of them. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, they've always been around for a very, very long time. But they were not interested in digging for... Techno-archaeologists, such as Ark and Land in the time of the heresy, mainly focused in and around the Sol system. But the term techno-archaeologist virtually went extinct for a very long time until the 9th edition Admech Codex came back around, so they kind of remembered them again. But yeah, back in the day in the heresy time, where they weren't digging up Xenos stuff. It was all about saving mankind. And then once they put a ring of steel and iron around the galaxy, then those techno-archaeologists could explore a bit more. And they get up to all sorts of... They're the bad guys in all the video games. We need the Squats land train back. We don't. It was a terrible idea. It wasn't good then. It isn't good now. Space Gaven sound terrible. The Harad. I've been arguing for a new Xenos faction. The Harad would be good. Whether or not they're Space Gaven anymore, but that's what they originally were supposed to be. Right. If Games Workshop replaced Eldar with Space Gaven, I would 100% buy that. Yes. Me too, probably. If not the land train, what would the Votan Titan be? Let's have AI stuff. There is no AI except for Tau shield drones, right? That's about as AI as it gets. But the Votan, the ancestor cores, the AI that is in the name, they make Ironkin too. And it doesn't matter whether you're a machine intelligence, artificial intelligence, or whether you're Fred, because kin is kin. They love their artificial intelligence. So, where are the big walkers, the big shooters, the big robots? Where is the AI army? That's what Space Dwarfs could be, as well as Space Dwarfs. Where is that? There's half a codex missing. I want that side, and I want a bit more grimdark in my Space Dwarfs, please. I know it's like capitalism gone to... It's like, we're going to come to mine your planet. No, we don't want to be mined. No. We've already put $1 billion whatever in your bank, and now we're mining your outpost to death. Well, where do we go? We're all going to die. I don't know. There's $1 billion there. We just gave you the money for it. You're going to have to leave to somewhere. And then it's just... It's basic. That's what it is. That's about as grimdark as they get. And also the fact that their entire ancestor cores are senile and breaking down because they're all clones. So they've got so much redundant data of all the memories and all the thoughts of every single dead clone passed back into the ancestor core. So they talk to the ancestors. The ancestor core, the leagues of Votan, the Votan machine, the STCs, the senile old machines. They've got 58,000 window tabs open, and they're all saying the same thing with a couple of genetic anomalies here or there. They can lean into that. They're a dying species as well, and they know that they came from Terra, and they know what the Mechanicum's like. And if they find out about their AI, they could be in deep doo-doo. There's a whole thing they can do there. And I'm sure it will go that way. It'll just take 30 years. It'll take them a long time to get that way. I'm sure it'll go that way. But yeah, the AI models, the AI killing machines, the AI, the war of the right, Terminator, the rise of the robots. We want this in 40k. Why not? They did the manga. We've got Gundam in 40k, okay? We've got Aliens and Starship Troopers in 40k. We've got them. Someone decided Legolas in 40k was a good idea right at the start, though. If I was in the board meeting at the very beginning when they're saying, knights in space, check, done. Orcs in space, yeah, definitely, check, done. Space elves, wood elves in space, whoa, 1 minute. Those fragile little knife-eared bastards, they are not going in space. They're not going anywhere near the spaceships. They've done enough. No, instead of them, we'll have the AI. We'll have them in instead. We'll put Gundam in instead. But yeah, Rise of the Machines, the Hunter Killer, we'll put that in. And that could be Kin. And that could be Rantic. That's what I think. For the things, how do we get to this? Living Metal is Terminator. Not, I mean, yeah, but, not the Terminator side. The one. And they're not that anymore. They're not Necrons anymore. They're not that. They used to be, but now they're like not pharaohs, pharaons. They're more Egyptian now, which is also Thousand Suns. There's lots of overlaps. I mean, like, the war against, yeah. The other types of superhero movies. Thank you for gifting a membership, Rue. Sorry, I was on one there and I fell off at the end. So thank you so much for gifting a membership. Skynet went live. Space Elves is Eldar. No. Yes. Oh dear. Where are we? Always thought the Daleks would be amazing. No, we can't put Daleks in 40k. I don't think that would work. They need to stay where Daleks stay, Akachallo, thank you for your donation. Space lizards? I think the old ones made other species to fight the Necrontyr. Yes. I'd like to see some more of that lore explored, more armies. I mean, they could be like, it's rumoured that that's kind of what they looked like, the space war lizards, the kobold. Yeah. Never been confirmed or denied by Games Workshop. I like the fact that that lore is so ambiguous and so unexplored. That makes it good too. And if they answer some of those questions about who were they really and where did they get to, and if they answered some of them, I'm not sure that makes the setting better. They could put more vulgarities, though. They could sow new, contradicting, overlapping stories from back then. I'll be down with that. Basically, I'll be down with getting more confused about the old ones and the Necrontyr. That'd be great. Just like in 40k, when in the lore they refer back to the heresy, many characters in many books have many different ideas about what the heresy is. Like in some books, they refer to the 9 Primarchs, and they're shocked when they find out that was 9 more, and half of them became traitor. There's a thing with a priest, and he's like, what? There was 9 more, and they turned traitor, and what? That means the emperor was fallible because he made his 9 perfect sons, but that means he made 9 imperfect sons. What? Has an existential crisis. But there's also 40k books where they do know about the heresy. Well, Eisenhorn and the Inquisition mainly, but well, they do know about what some of the things happened back then. There's overlapping reports about what happens in certain battles as well from a long, long time ago. I kind of like the I mean, we know what happened in the heresy now, but even some of those in the heresy, some of the battles, deliberately this has been done. This is how good the Black Library series is for the heresy, is sometimes you get to see the battles from 2 different points of view, or you get to see 2 different recollections of the same event and they both contradict each other, and they're both not the same. And that happens in the heresy because of warp stuff and all sorts of... It happens in the heresy. Two people say, no, this is... And the other one says, no, this is... And he's like, but it was in Scunthorpe. And you were like, no, it wasn't in Scunthorpe. It was in New York, not Scunthorpe. No, New York. No, Scun... It sounds... No, two different continents, though. That happens. And that's good. And having that injected into the Necrontyr old world stuff is a good idea, I think, rather than explain it. I like the fact that it's in this fiction as well, those levels. You don't get that in other fictions, I don't think. So you've got to be very careful answering some of the unanswered questions. Like the two traitor legions. I like the idea of finding out about one of them. And then the other one they never talk about ever in the history of ever. But if we found out about one of them, that would be pretty cool. Eldar, orcs and humans, they made us out of desperation through... They may have made humans as well, maybe. The idea is that the war in heaven 60 million years ago that wiped out everything is the reason why the dinosaurs were made. You know, that happened. That extinction, dinosaurs, dead, war in heaven. Where are we? Wait, is Scunthorpe actually a place? Blood Buffalo, of course it is. We get some lovely names, Blood Buffalo, in the UK. Scunthorpe is a place. There's other great places around here, like Trowbridge and Bourton-on-the-Water. Bognor Regis. Bognor Regis is quite nice. There's a beach in the summer there. Sometimes the water sometimes you can go in the water. Most of the time it's full of shit. But Bognor Regis is quite nice. Big beach though. More of a mud flap really at the end of the Severn Estuary. But it's nice. I would go to the south coast instead, to Swanage probably. Somewhere down there. Or really take the long trip. Go all the way down to Cornwall, to St. Ives or Prior Sands, or the Lizard. We can't swim at the Lizard, of course, not the Lizard, but around that area. Those beaches along there, the Low, they're very nice. Right in the claw. There's a town called Giggleswick in the UK. Any more weird towns, guys? Giggleswick. Bourton-on-the-Water is just up the road from me. Stow-on-the-Wold. Oh, yes. That's the name of an English town. Stow-on-the-Wold. Crazy. Oh, dear, those Saxons. They had a hilarious sense of humour. Get your Harry Potter sounding lies out of the stream. No, Blood Buffalo. I tell you, Blood Buffalo. I mean, you have some weird American names for towns, like I don't know, like Hallelujah or something, or Salt Lake City is a pretty one. It's on the nose there. It's, you know, that's not a weird one though. You have some crazy names out there, but yeah, Stow on the Water. The Lizard is a place. It's near me. There's a place called Cockermouth, Cumbria. Cockermouth. I've heard of it. Cockermouth, real place. Yeah, that's British sense of humour for you right there. Someone knew what they were doing. Are there Mexicans in Mexborough? I don't know where Mexborough is. I know where Marlborough is. We don't count the Midwest as actual Americas. You don't count the Midwest as actual America? That's a very American comment to make. Thanks for sharing. No idea. No idea what that means. Mexborough is Rotherham. Is it? Near Sheffield. It doesn't help me. Hi, Frank! To be fair, most of the American places were named by us. New York, New London. There's Glasgow as well. They've got their own Glasgow, have they? Nice. It's just cults and corn. What, in the Midwest? Cults and corn. And lots of inbreeding. Texas is a bit like Swindon. Texas is the real America. You should come by. We've got a Warhammer World 2. I'd love to. I'd love to go out to America at some point. But it's a very long way away and all my stuff is here. But thanks for the invite. Oh dear. Chat. How long have we been going? It's nearly 2 hours. I said, look, tonight would be locked in. Not for a good time, but for a long time. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've had a good time. This has been fun. Unlike most of you who've probably not had a good time and should have been watching videos of penguins instead. Texas is huge, though. I keep hearing that, like Texas bragging about its size, and I think that's like the most American thing ever. Like it. Come to Texas, it's really big. Small things are important too, you know, like the Golden Throne. Yes, it's a really big throne, but it's small. It's not the size of Texas, but it's very important. What about love? Love is small, precious, not as big as Texas, but it's very important. America is big. America's Josh Allen's Go Bills. I love Josh Allen and I love the Buffalo Bills. You can't. Great team, doing well. It's always a good time here, Winters. Yes, you're in America as well, Eternal Crusader, right? Cup of Fartby near Manchester. Is that a place, Jack? Get a picture of a penguin up on your wall, Winters, then we can watch both. Texas has a London, Liverpool, Newcastle and Edinburgh, so you'd feel at home. I doubt it. If I went to Liverpool or London in Texas, dear, I don't think it'll be anything like what I'm thinking. But yeah. Nope, Glasgow. Would love to move to the US. Oh, you're in Glasgow. Yes. See, I'm never going to remember that, by the way. I'm trying to, but it's going to go. Not a real place. Okay. What? Not a real place. There will be March of Winter's penguin theme. No. Spiders the size of plates. They have spiders the size of plates. I'm not there. Some 475. It's small. Giant spiders. No. Shite hole. Any Liverpool is best avoided, in my humble opinion. Yeah. I managed to avoid it all my life, actually, so I'm doing well. Kind of got stuck in Swindon, so not as well. Liverpool or Swindon, which is worse? Discuss. Yeah. So, chat, yes, where are we? Nearly 2 hours in. I said, look, we're in for a long time, not a good time. But I'm glad you've joined me on this journey this evening. Thank you so much. It genuinely cheers me up. You guys are hilarious. What did we talk about? We talked about some Warhammers. Let's have a look on my list. I wanted to mention Luton. I wanted to mention Cup of Farty by the Sea, nice beach. Great stream. I'm not sounding off yet. If we want to keep going, we can keep going. I'm just checking through the checklist. We could be here for 2 minutes. We could be here for 10 minutes. We could be here for an hour, even though I'm running out of water. I might have to get some more. Let's keep going. It's up to you guys. Probably 10 minutes. Is there a time goal yet? No, I don't know. And I'm not going to be on tomorrow, Crusader, by the way. No, this is not. You've got to be consistent. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT, Talkie Tuesday live stream. That's. What are you painting? I've just painted some Lord of the Things. Breaches on the table. Yeah, I've got 2 of these guys. I held them up earlier. 2 Lord dudes for the Emperor's Children. I also played a game with the Raven Guard recently, off camera, on Monday. And Alex SEO said to me, why haven't we got a Master of Signals for the Raven Guard? It seems like something they would have, what with all their deep strike and things. And I'm like, well, you don't really need it because improvisers you can buy, which gives them the not shroud, which is what your Master of Signals for. And the other thing the Master of Signals does is reroll reserves, but you can take that with a Warlord trait called the Hidden Hand, where you can reroll reserves, so you don't really need one. But he said, but they'd have one. If any Legion would have one, they'd have one. So I painted up one of them as well. So there's a Master of Signals with a handheld scanner running up a rock. It's got a scanner there, look. And I can't make the thing focus, don't even ask. It doesn't work. And then he's a Master of Signals for the Raven Guard, which I don't really need. And then he said we need another apothecary for them as well. So I'm going to paint another apothecary. That's next door. That's what I'm painting next. And so I'm playing a 30k game on Saturday. So I figured I'd bring some of the, maybe both, maybe just the apothecary. But if I'm playing 30k on Saturday, then Raven Guard it is. Because I'll have another apothecary by then. Thank you. Looks lovely. Good. What are the best units to start collecting? A Tyranid army. 3 of those Norn Queen Alexis's to hold objectives in the middle. 15 OC, 4 up, feel no pain. On that one, that one, that one. 3 of them. And then as many Lictors, Raveners, Leapers, those ones as you can get your hands on with stealth and the ability to go uppy downy. And maybe a couple of Tyrannofexes for some really big guns, and that's about it. It's not a Wednesday and it's not a waffling Wednesday. It's a talky Tuesday. You need to be consistent this Tuesday. Grab the Leviathan box if you can. Have you used an airbrush to paint? I've tried. No, I don't use an airbrush to paint. I've tried using airbrushes before. I'm not an airbrush guy. I am a spray the color you want it to be originally with a can. So for the Emperor's Children, I appear to have run out, or it's next door. I'll spray silver at the start. For demons and the blood angels and the things, red at the start. For Iron Hands, Raven Guard, black at the start. Spray the base color you use. It's going to be doom, and then add a few bits of color, non-oil, liquid skill in a bottle. Highlight up from there, done. I found a method. I could do it pretty quickly. To pretty good results. Pretty good. Good results. Good. Enough for people to go, okay, you can, yeah. If you put a bit more effort into that, that would look really good. But I can see what you did. That sort of thing. Because back in the day, it used to be, I put a bit more effort into, and I didn't paint whole armies. You paint it over there. But this way you can paint more. And also the other thing that I found out, which really helps take the edge off, is resin bases. You can make a model which is 70% painted, a 7 out of 10, a nicely painted model, look like an 8 out of 10 by putting it on a lovely resin base from marchofwar.co.uk. It doesn't pay me anything for that, you know. I don't get paid anything for that. It's just I pimpish shit all the time. Nothing. He should be paying half of his business, basically. James, you there? I want half his shit. Now. I don't really. He's a nice guy. He gives me too much as it is. And I'm glad to help. Because helping's good. I like helping. He gets more stuff. I get more stuff. Everybody gets more stuff. That's good. Ever heard about the Leonine heresy? Yes. Color coordinated basing makes all the models. Yes. Basing one color. James has a dangerous habit of appearing at the end of a stream. Yes, he does. He's a nice guy. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, we're in. I'm definitely getting dry. So Adepticon. Did we want to talk about that? Weekend. We talked about the weekend. What's happening at the weekend? We talked about the two. Yeah, we did that. I mentioned the Raven Guard. We're doing the Raven Guard on Saturday, playing the 4,000 point Orc one on Sunday. Luton. I talked about Luton. And then Adepticon. Did we bother? No one seemed bothered about Adepticon. Are we bothered? Were we bothered? I wasn't that bothered. I wasn't that bothered about Adepticon. Is that bad? I just work here. Should I pay attention to Adepticon? I don't know. I'm sure if something important happens, someone will tell me. But It's just there's a lot going on all the time. So much hobby. You can't keep up with it all, can you? Can you? Adepticon was mid. Streaming dry can be trained. I know. What are the Templars getting, please? What do you mean, what are the Templars getting, please? What does that mean? Which Templars? When Templars? What edition? And why do you think I know? Where are we? I am drawing. I am. Teasers for Codex Space Marines. What you reckon they're getting? A lieutenant on a rock. I think he's definitely coming. I think we're going to get like the Pedro Cantors, the Vulcan Hestans, all of those named Space Marine characters. We're going to get them. What? What are the Templars? What are we talking about, Templars? Will you be reading the new Fulgrim novel? No, not unless someone tells me it's good. I mean, it's just going to be full of chaos stuff. Fulgrim going "arr," and I'm an Imperial player at heart. So if someone tells me the new Fulgrim book is good, like I must have, you're going to read it, then I'll read it. But nah. I mean, what's the most Fulgrim could be getting up to? Like, yes, do some chaosy things, stab a few things. Some more chaosy things, stab a few things. And that's it. What else? Maybe really, really get into like garden furniture to an excessive amount. Like lots of gnomes in his garden. One of those swans with a bush, and you turn it a swan bush. A pond with a nice babbling thing coming down. A pond, nice rocks and things. So the dragonflies in the summertime can skim across the surface. If that's what dragonflies do. I think I'm getting my flies mixed up. My fly knowledge is not high. It's definitely mid. No, it's low. What I know, flies, on the things that I know scale, they're like 1 out of 10. They're down there. Space Marine Codex 2, yes or no? What does that mean? Space Marine Codex 2, yes or no? Or whether they're going to get a second Space Marine Codex, yes or no? I don't know. I just work here. I don't know. Do I want there to be another one? No. Is there probably going to be another one? Will it sell more Space Marines? Yes. So will there be another one? Probably yes. What's really in those teacups that sometimes show up during your battle reports? Eldar Tears. I think we're getting individual supplements rather than Codex 2.0, says the Eternal Crusader. There you go. The opinion on the internet. Like mine. Opinions. I don't know. Do you think 11th would have any success if instead of pushing a new narrative, they went to explore old war zones like Vintage Edition, looking at the Badab War, blah, blah, blah. I think they should do both. They should do both. It shouldn't be one or the other. I think 11th edition should have something with the lion and Guilliman or something about the King of the Yellow on the box art when the book is released at the same time. I think that's what should happen. Moving the 11th edition rule set and lore and everything forward, and at the same time having a book release and crusade. You see, the crusade. You're right. Like a Vintage Edition looking back at the Badab War, for example. So yes, you're right. What they should do is that as well. So instead of us getting Pariah Nexus or Vigilus, or where is the first Tyrannic War Crusade book with loads less rules and a lot more maps and pictures and histories and the picture of very much like the Imperial Army used to do, something like that, but with a few rules. Where is the first Tyrannic War? Where is the Badab War? Where is the Siege of Vrax? Where is the Fall of Cadia? Where are these things in Crusade that you can play in 40k? Where are those Crusade books? Why isn't there a library You know, like the Black Library has a gazillion books right now. And there can be, I mean, the Heresy series, hell, is like 70 books long or whatever it is. There could be a Crusade book system like the Black Library books, where there's 100 Crusade books with all the maps and all the pictures and all the diagrams and all the how to build this and how to paint that. And they could be gorgeous hobby things, and there's 100 of them. And people talk about the best one, like, hey, 1 minute, have you done the Solar War bits? Or, hey, 1 minute, have you done the first four books? You know, there could be some in there, just like people talk about the Black Library books, like, you must hit this one, you must hit this one, you must hit this one. And as for the rules in there, the rules in there could have different missions and different stuff around different missions, and that's how you play a Crusade. It doesn't matter what edition it is. So you can pick up your Badab Crusade book now or in 14th edition, but it will still work because the missions still work the same way. And then have a leveling up system or a campaign system in between the games, which is universal and levels up the same way. So you have very, very minimal rules in it. Like, okay, if you won the last mission by more than X amount of points, then the next mission you get plus 250 points. That can last any edition. It can last this edition or plus 250 points in edition 14, but plus 250 points. But you must play one of these other missions, and it's an attack or defend mission, or it's a cut off thingy-bob mission, and it goes that way down. Like, okay, they've got 250 points more, or I've got 250 points less, or however it is in there, and done. And it's the Badab War, and it's Vrax, and that's Crusade. Have a library of it. Get some serious writers in, writing some of it. Spend some time and money on this, sorry. You don't even need Black Library writers in there. Just those good Imperial Armor chunky ones. Atlas, can we have 100 of them, please? Wouldn't cost that much. And they started with the first and only. They started with one. And look where Black Library got to. And they could apply the same thing. And that's what Crusade could be. And Crusade isn't a rule set. Crusade becomes a book series. I mean, I think that's just the way to do it, right? I don't know. What do you think? What do we think? Happy birthday, Winters, for whatever it is. It's the 19th of this month. Did I say that out loud? What is the date today? Oh shit, it's like 10 days. We might have to do no, I'm filming that day, so we can't do a live stream. Because the thing is, on the YouTubes, you do the birthday live stream, because then you get the donation, you see. Oh dear. 2 hours, and I'm definitely getting dry. That sounds bad. Dry in a good way. Cheeky midnight stream, the Eternal Crusader. I'm going to need some fluids if I am to carry on. So I'm probably not going to carry on. And I want to know, the Crusade thing, was that a good idea? Good idea. Just got to answer more questions to liven it up. Was that a good idea, the Crusade thing? I like the cap. Where'd you hide the rate? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I went through the things. I've done the things. Those are the things. I'm out of fluids. This seems like a place we could end it, guys. Doesn't it? It does. It's been 2 hours. I've got a bit of footage to get through here. You're telling me that there's a few clippable bits. Good idea to the Crusade book. Crusade wants you yeah. Crusade is a book series is way better. Current Crusade wants you to literally book keep. So you don't want to be bookkeeping when you're playing Crusade. No, you just want it to be a framework around which to build your own narrative. It's not about the rules. Cup of tea. Done things several times at this point. Get Black Templars versus Necrons. It all depends. If someone comes down here with Black Templars, I can put my Necrons against them. Get Ceres. I've got Ceres. He's down there. I just need to paint him. But the reason I've got 2 Doomsday Cannons. I've got Ceres. I can't. The thing with him pulling the body out of the thing. I think it'd be a way for Games Workshop to keep pushing books and soft transition e-code. It would be. Yeah. Yeah, the Crusade idea. I think it's a good idea. Is that clippable? I'm not sure it's clippable. But I really need to get a drink. So, what time is it? It's 9:15. It's 9:15. We were locked in this evening, chat. We were locked in. But alas, the end is near. I need a fluid. So that was fun. I don't know how people do long streams, because I think it's because I chat so much. It gets so dry. More law the better. Need to know people well. Yes. Okay, good. Right. We're saying good night, I think. We're saying good night. I've got my thing with my thing on. I'll stick that up on the thing. You know about the weekend. I've told you about the weekend. Told you about what's coming on Wednesday tomorrow. You know what's coming on Wednesday tomorrow. P90's going to the vets on Tuesday. What manager on that? We talked about Luton thing. Not much. No one cared about Luton that much. No one cared about Adepticon that much, which is fine. The Luton video was banging. And thank you all for watching it and making it. It spiked. It's spiking. It's looking good on the algorithm. So thanks for that. Peace and love. Good night, twin. Great stream, Winters. See you tomorrow. I'm not coming on tomorrow. Damn it. It's just, apparently I've got to do some shorts now. And I'm going to look through 2 hours of footage of this to see if there's any clippable bits. Because I keep meaning to do that. I even wrote down some bits from last week's live stream. And I didn't clip any of it. Because I'm lazy. That's amazing. And I've been hard at the painting and the things. 2,000 points. I hope you like Emperor's Children, because there's going to be a lot of Emperor's Children coming. So we'll press that one. We press that one. Too dry to come tomorrow. Clips about getting rid of Aeldari and clips about removing actions for sure. Yeah, I don't know where I put it. I stupidly wrote down the timestamps and not what the timestamps were about. So, getting rid of the Aeldari? You reckon getting rid of the Aeldari is actually clippable? The actions one is probably better. The Aeldari one, there'll be some people who get upset by the Aeldari one. Which I don't care about, to be fair. For myself, I don't care about it for me. But I don't want to upset people. I don't want people to watch videos that make them upset. I'd rather to entertain. I'd rather people come away from my videos smiling rather than screw Games Workshop and all the things, or screw whatever. I'm trying to go the other way, not down. Actions removal 100%. Okay, you will be full-time streamer, Winters, no matter how dry you get. I will not be a full-time streamer. I don't make enough money streaming, but I do make enough. I don't make enough money streaming, but I do make enough money from all your love and all your support and all the memberships and all the other things combined. So thank you very much. I'm very blessed to be doing what I'm doing. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, if the streaming figures were higher, I'd definitely do more streaming. But at the moment, it's just a fun way to connect with you guys. And thank you. Again, how many times in each stream is like thanks? There's a lot of thanks. There's not enough thanks. You guys are awesome. Awkward silence.